All right, guys, we tried to do that and we lost the internet, so I'm just shooting on my phone here. Hopefully you guys can hear me. We got the air conditioner running pretty hard. This is a big warehouse. Story behind this warehouse is it used to be the Lee Middleton doll factory, which was really highly collectible back in the day before they moved their operations to China. And talking about collectibles, here's a really nice hobby shop. If you like railroad tracks and trains, HO cars, models, this guy's got everything. He's got all kinds of like slot cars, paint supplies for like your models and stuff. He's got a bunch of models down here, over there. Like I said, a bunch of tools to fix like your cars and stuff. I see some slot cars over there. Some foliage for your train tracks. And right now it looks like there's a 20% off sale going on. So if you guys want to check out, if you're anywhere near Belpre, Ohio, it's in a building called Boxers that used to be, this used to be the Lee Middleton doll factory, and we're in the warehouse right now. But like I said, it's a pretty nice place. They got all kinds of cool stuff. There's some glassware. I don't do glassware because I'm like a bull in a china shop. But I've already been here and thrifted and got the stuff that I wanted, or I didn't find a whole lot, but I ended up buying like 300 or 400 DVDs for like 30 bucks. And I bought some 1976 belt buckles. I'll probably show that guy to you later on. But yeah, this guy's got a little bit of everything. Got some of the his wax melts that have his nice smells and stuff. Looks like he has some Funko Pops over there. I see some Hot Wheels. Yeah, this video is probably going to be pretty long. I'm probably not going to edit it, so hopefully you guys enjoy this and just see all kinds of neat stuff that we have down here at the LeRoy's Antiques and Collectibles. I don't have a booth here anymore. I was just spreading myself too thin, but it is a nice place if you guys want to come down and shop. There's a little card shop in here. Guys got a bunch of like newer cards that I see. Like I said, around here it's pretty like Steelers, WVU, Ohio State heavy. Got a few sets. There's some bunch of Jordan BGG 10s. Yeah, I like these showcases. Here's some Reds. Here's some Joe Burrow Funko Pops. Joe Burrow actually played high school ball about 30 minutes away from here. So he's kind of like a hometown hero for us here. So a lot of Joe Burrow fans. Guys got some supplies. A little bit of NASCAR stuff. A little bit of junk wax era stuff. And there's an Ellie Dela Cruz. I know he's real popular right now. So a little bit of stuff. Let's go on to some next guys here. I'll spend more time on stuff I like to look at. So, like I say, if you like old antique stuff, man, they got that kind of stuff here for sure. A little bit of everything. Like I said, it's definitely a little bit of everything. Oh, this, I didn't even see this when I was thrifting or whatever. That's the Gray Skull right there. 60 bucks, a little high for me. But how often do you see one of those? I've never seen one of those at a shop or at a yard sale or anything. I'm always too late to find that kind of cool stuff. If you guys have been watching my channel long enough, you know I'm pretty lazy. I don't like to get up before 11. So, don't like getting to those yard sales at like 6 a.m. So I get to sell whatever's left over. I make a decent living doing it, so it's all right. It's all good. Sometimes I'll shop here because they'll have like CDs for a quarter. I looked at them today, I didn't see much. And I think they raised their cassettes up to $1. They used to be a quarter, so I bought them when they were a quarter. Like I said, a little bit of everything. You got some jars, and there's some VHS movies. But like I said, there's a lot of vendors in here. I don't know how many there are. There's probably 100. I mean, like I was telling you, there's some oldie type stuff. Like, this looks like an old barn stuff or primitive type stuff. I know a lot of people like that kind of stuff. I don't mind it, but I don't really sell it or buy it or any of that stuff. I don't know anything about it. I'm sure if I found something that looked old and cool, I would buy it and look it up, but it's not something I would know. So most stuff I would just use like Google Lens, or actually on eBay now, you can go on the app, you can hit the camera button and it will show barcode or not scan item, but take picture of the item, and it will look for that for you. Just with the picture of the item, you just like, if I wanted to look this up, you would just hit it and that would look through the pictures on eBay to try to find that exact item for you. That's been a lifesaver for me for some of this like harder to figure out what it is stuff. Like, you know, some of this old stuff, you don't even know what it is. You know, you don't know if it's an old iron or if it was a popcorn maker, you know, so you don't really know what to put in, and there's no marking, so you just take a picture of the whole item, and it'll tell you exactly what it is. Then you can punch that in and find out what the comps are. I mean, reselling is getting so much easier now as far as being able to figure out how much stuff is worth and if it's a good deal or collectible or not. It's just so much easier doing that. So definitely, you know, look up your stuff if you're not, you know, well versed in that kind of thing. Like I always tell people, if you don't know anything about sports cards, you don't need to be buying sports cards. Because 99.9% of the sports cards out there are trash. The other 1% can make you some money and do pretty well and sell. But if you don't know what 1% to buy, you could buy 1 million cards and only get like maybe 100 that were good to sell. So it's just the same way with movies and stuff. I mean, 90% of the movies don't have much value, but it's that 10% that you want to find. Yeah, they'll actually bring you like 20, 30 bucks, 100 bucks. Some might bring you hundreds, thousands of dollars. Just depends on what movie it is. So like I said, there's all kinds of like little antique type stuff. Hopefully I'm not moving the camera too fast for you guys. It's kind of hard to judge, like when you're doing this. It's one of my first attempts of doing this in a long time. I just noticed it was there wasn't many people in here because it's like 95 degrees outside and it's a Tuesday, so I figured I'd just make a video here and show you guys what they got. That way I wouldn't have to run into people, and like I said, you guys can check out this stuff. I mean, there's cool like superhero stuff. There's some movies. Like every booth has movies anymore. There's a big bunch of movies over there. There's some dolls. There's big dolls, $40. There's some records. Most of the records around aren't very good. There's not too many. I don't think there's a real good record dealer in here. But we may do a video on my buddy's shop up in Marietta. It's really nice. He has probably the nicest record store in the area. And he also does a lot of like vintage movie type stuff. So we'll do a trip up there. We're gonna start doing more of these videos. I tell you, if you guys want me to do more of these videos, please hit like, please comment, and you know, I'll continue doing more of these videos. So I'm just out here wanting to give you guys the best content. There's some really cool blow molds. Those things sell really well, but everybody in here pretty much knows it. So it's $185. That one looks like the tag's been taken off. I'm sure that one's at least, you know, $150, $200 bucks. There's some nice ones. The Halloween ones always do the best, usually for me. Well, there's a little pumpkin for $65. But yeah, you definitely want to find this stuff. It's kind of hard to ship. I sell most of my stuff locally because you're going to pay like $50, $60 just because it's going to be like oversized box on some of that stuff. And you get an extra like $15, $20 charge on it. It sounds like we have the air conditioner going on again, so I apologize if you can't hear me very well. I know my mom used to make these Afghans back in the day. They were really nice. They're nice and warm, and it reminds me of the TV show Roseanne, because she always had those square, you know, on the back of her couch. She had that same design. I heard something I didn't even look at. Richard Marks for 10 bucks. I think that's a little high for me. Just a little. There's some cool Disney stuff up there. This booth looks like it's not set up yet. There's my poster. I should probably grab that. I was set up here for the first month, or actually the first 2 weeks, and then I ended up moving out because, like I said, I was just spreading myself too thin. It was like my third location, and I just didn't want to chance it because my second location wasn't doing very well. So if I didn't make rent here and I didn't make rent there, it would just make so much more money to have to come up with on my own. So I couldn't risk it. This looks like some Avon or something, some fragrances and stuff. Some more Barney type stuff over here. Look at that. Not Barney, but barn type stuff. Not the I love you. Every once in a while I'll come over here. Sometimes I get some new movies in. I didn't look at these yet, so I'm going to look over here real quick. And wouldn't you know it, nothing I need. It's pretty much the way it is anymore. It's hard to find the hard to find DVDs anymore that really sell for any money. I think that's why they sell for money, because they're hard to find. Some toys and stuff, some more media. Like I said, almost every booth has media now. Some more records. I think I didn't really look through them very well. Everybody's got pops. I try to stay away from pops unless I get them for like $2 or something. I bought some on eBay the other day for like $1 a piece. Yeah, all this like primitive stuff. And people go crazy over some of this stuff, like these old ladders and stuff. Let's come around and go through it. Here's a 50% off booth. I'm sure some of you guys are screaming, why didn't you buy that? Why didn't you buy that? I don't know. But yeah, these are like some kind of creepy vintage doll faces. This is like 10 bucks. So they're really creepy. Look at these things. Are those like the, what do you call it? The Grinch type people? There's a duck. I almost bought this rack. They had it for sale at one point. I kind of liked it because it had this other little rack on top of it. I thought it would have been nice for one of my stores. End of summer sale, 35% off. We got a lot of people with a lot of percentages off. Just, I'm not finding anything that I need. You know, so I look through everything. There's VHS is here for $1, but it's mostly just stuff I don't think will sell. I don't know why the tint has gotten so blue in here now. I didn't really notice the lighting in person change that much, but the camera seems to have changed a lot. I don't know. Like I said, this place isn't huge, but I mean, it's a warehouse full. There's some more stuff right here. Lots of knickknacks right there, man. I definitely do not step foot in any of these booths like this. Because like I said, I'm a big dude, and I am a bull in a china shop, and I'm not going to pay for all that stuff because I'm probably going to break it. This is something I wanted to buy a few weeks ago. It was $100. It's a laser disc. My dude said it worked, and there was like 15 discs, but I don't see it anymore. But I don't know. I just couldn't see myself paying $100 for it. Now this guy had 70% off his booth, but Avon stuff doesn't sell. Like I pretty much picked them clean. Everybody else picked them clean before I got here. They have like these steins, but these things do not sell. They only go for about 10 bucks on eBay. And he's got 25 on them, so that makes them, what, about $4.50 or something. So that's still kind of high. That's why he still has a whole thing standing here. But yeah, this booth's been hit pretty hard. Check this out. That's literally the oldest radio I think I've ever seen. Isn't that a radio for like an old car? I think it's pretty cool. I don't know how much it is, but it's pretty cool. I don't know if it has any use or any value, but it's pretty freaking awesome though. Here's an old high school jacket from a place around here. Here's another thing. It used to be about $5 a piece now, but they only go for about 10 retail, so not a huge come up, and they're slow sellers. I mean, if they sold right away, I would think about buying them, but they don't sell right away. Let's go to this other booth real quick before we go there. This is one of my buddies. He's got a baseball card shop too. Sells a little bit of everything. He's got some Fortnite figures over there. He's got some cards in the case. Full-size helmet by Mark Vedor. Full-size Brian Bosworth. That's pretty sweet. Mark Bulger signed jersey. I know Michael Myers like that one. He's a West Virginia fan. Now this here, I'll give you a story about this. This is Shell Chemicals. They produced Kraton, which was something they put in like roads and stuff. It's like really high-tech stuff to help. It's like real flexible and almost like Teflon or something. Anyway, this was a chemical fire that almost blew up our whole town. If you see this right here, this fire almost came to this, and this has such dangerous gas in it. If this would have caught fire, we probably would have lost 3 or 4 cities. I mean, it probably would have been 100 miles of just gone, just total annihilation of like 3 or 4 city area, because it would have started a chain reaction with all the other plants, because there's across the river is DuPont, which is like a mile from there, and then a few miles up the road was Elkham, and there was, like I said, all the way up the Ohio River, there's just nothing but plants. And my mom was the first one to respond on this fire. It was her and another woman, and they got in their fire suits, got the hoses out, and there was supposed to be 6 people on the brigade. 4 of the guys ran and went home. So like I said, she fought that fire. I didn't see her for 2 days. I didn't know if she was alive or dead. It was a pretty crazy time. It happened back in the 90s. Kind of like that photo that happened in 97. I may talk to my buddy about buying it, but yeah, like I said, that I think that's actually what set my mom into, like later on in life, her being crazy, like her dementia and stuff. Because she was never right after fighting that fire. Because like I said, everybody, pretty much thought our whole town was going to be gone. This stuff's not for sale, but he's got one of the most extensive Dukes of Hazzard collections that I've ever seen. So it's pretty cool to come down and look at it. I had one of these cases for a bit. Has some sports cards in them. I just bought some belt buckles off this guy. He had 70% off. He's got all these Harley ornaments, but they weren't bringing enough money. They only sell them for about 10 bucks. And they were about 5 that he wanted for them. I bought all the DVDs he had here. There's DVDs there, and there was a whole bunch of boxes down here. I ended up getting about 400 DVDs for 30 bucks. Some of them were decent, nothing great, but as you can tell, his stock's pretty much been depleted. Wake up with Folgers in your cup. That's kind of cool. I don't know if these things sell or not. There's no plug to it. I did look this up. One sells for like $5. But none of them sold. Some kind of tin press Asian kind of thing. I'd only have 30 cents in it, but I didn't see any sold, so I didn't buy it. I didn't buy these because somebody stole the discs out of them. There's Steins again. I think we're about ready to wrap it up here. I think we have one more aisle to go through. Hopefully you guys were able to make it through the whole video. I think there's a whole lot up through this way. But this is the loudest air conditioner I have ever seen in my life. Oh, here's another cool thing. These are the only purses that I buy. And it's Vera Bradley. The only reason I buy them is because nobody really, like pirates them. They don't fake the Vera Bradleys. And there's a lot of people that collect them. And I usually find a lot of them at the thrift stores, for like, on half price day, I'll find them for like $4 or $5. Like this one's $14.99, so I was getting like 15 to $30 for them. And I was paying like $5 for them. And they're the only ones I trusted, that weren't counterfeit, because nobody really counterfeits those because they're not really worth enough to counterfeit. I mean, a counterfeit purse is going to cost you $15. If a real one costs you $15, why would you counterfeit it? This is kind of cool, but I don't see anything I would want. I used to have a phone exactly like this at my house back in the 80s. This is kind of cool. Huh. Oh, reel-to-reel. I haven't seen those forever. A little dictation machine, maybe? I may look that up when I get off my phone. I didn't see that earlier. That's another thing. When I'm out, like, doing resale stuff, hunting, I'll usually go through the place at least twice. I'll do a really quick glance just to find all the like major stuff. Like if there's a awesome thing that just I had to have, I'll go through and I'll grab that, and then I'll go and take my time and do a quicker second view. And a lot of times you find better stuff on your second view because you took a little bit more time. Because really, what I showed you is about how much time I put in it the first time. I'm just looking for that, expensive thing that I can find to flip really quick. So like I said, if something here I would see, like, if there was a really cool thermos or something, I might stop and look. He's got $10 on that one. But, if somebody had $1 on it, I'd probably buy it, But, basically, that's how we do it. Now we're coming to the checkout. Alright guys, that concludes our journey through the LeRoy's Antique and Collectibles here in Belpre, Ohio. If you guys want to come down, they're on Washington Blvd. Have a good one. Until next time, peace.